Have you ever been going through something that was excruciating to you, like very painful, deeply painful? And your friends walked up to you and she said, "Girl, just trust God." Maybe what you're going through is something intense like grief. Maybe someone you truly love passed away. And everybody around you keeps saying, "Trust God." And you're asking yourself, "Yes, I know that. Yes, I understand that. But what does that really mean? What does it mean to trust God during times of grief?" Hey, let's talk about it. My name is Dr. Venessa Ellen. And yes, I am excited to be here with you, but I know it's a tough subject that we need to cover. 2.5 years ago or so, my mom passed away. And so I have been going through grief. Well, what it did was it propelled me into writing a book on grief that, Lord willing, will be releasing soon, coming to a bookstore near you. But this season, what we're going to offer you is just different variations of conversations regarding grief. This is our convictions version. Today, I want to jump in to the area of trust God. What does it really mean to trust God? So I was looking this up and I found this quote by 𝗕elle and 𝗕blive. It says, "God's sovereignty indicates the divine authority with which he rules the entire creation, and in his sovereign good pleasure does whatever he wills." Well, you might be thinking, well, what does that really mean? Was God some ogre sitting up there causing my life misery, taking my mother from me, doing these different things? You see, even though it does hurt, we do lose the relationship. God doesn't change. He's still sovereign. He's still a good God. He's still in control of everything. There's a scripture that I like to ponder on that says, how can the clay say to the potter what it will or will not be? When I think about what does it mean to trust God, I think what it means is that to trust that he has everything under control. Not not doing it my way, not leaning on the God of my imagination. You see, the God of my imagination is more so the God who does everything I want, when I want it, how I want it, and doesn't take anything from me that I love, right? See, that's the God of my imagination. But the God of the Bible, the true and living God, he owns everything. He created everything. We were created for him. He can do what he wants with his stuff. Now, remember, everything that he does is good. And I know that sounds real interesting, my sister, to say that everything, including your grief in this moment, is good. Let me encourage you to do a couple things. When you're thinking about how to trust God, remember this. You may doubt your family, you may doubt your friends, you may even doubt the doctors and their diagnosis and everything that happened around the loss of your loved one. But don't doubt God's love for you. Don't doubt the goodness of God. Don't doubt the sovereignty of God. He is in control. So during these times of grief, what can we do? Because we, meaning I, am still grieving along with you. Don't put your trust in people's wisdom. Trust in the all wise, all knowing, all sufficient God. Don't put your trust in anything, not even in your own self. Don't make promises to people about outcomes that only God can fulfill. What do I mean by that? My mom was diagnosed with bone cancer. And I remember so many doctors said, "Oh, she'll be fine. This is not the killing kind. She'll make it through." That was man's opinions. She did make it through to the other side. So don't put your faith and confidence in humans. Our knowledge is limited. Even though we have doctors, we have scientists, our knowledge is limited. But God is sovereign over all things. The other thing that I would encourage you to do when you're thinking about how do I do this thing called trusting God is you need to be confident during this time, during this season, that God will hold you. God will keep you. God will get you through this. God is with you, my sister. So, yes, I too will say to you, trust God, but not in some flippant way, not in some easy way, not that it's going to take away your pain, not that you're not ever going to cry again, and not that you're not going to grieve the loss of your loved one, but in hopes that it will propel you to know that God is with you. He's in control, and all things are working together for your good and for his glory, even your grief, my sister. So, what can you do practically applying this? Well, Identify some things that you can and cannot control. We can and cannot control the days of our lives or the lives of our loved ones. All of our days are numbered. God has already set that into place. We can't control that. But what can I control? I can control what I think about this. I can control how I feel about this. I can control how I relate to God about this. So take a moment in your little journal and write down what I can and cannot control. And write down a reminder to yourself: I will rely on God. I will trust God. I will grieve my way through this. I will give God the glory through all my pain. And I will tell others of the goodness and the sovereignty of God. Well, my sister, don't forget, we're going through this season. We're going to be talking about grief, just little snippets here and there. But if this is helpful, please like, follow, subscribe, and maybe even share with someone you know that's grieving right now. I'm Dr. Venessa Ellen. I hope to see you again. This is Real Life Convictions.